Okay, we'll go through real briefly here about transforming reciprocal functions. There's really nothing to it that we haven't seen before. So we've got horizontal translations that we can do, vertical translations, and we can change the orientation. So we can, if it's going one way, we can flip it over. We can multiply it by some number, so we can stretch the whole thing. Okay, so we'll take a look at those three real quick. So if I wanted to do a vertical translation, I'm just going to take my original equation, 1 over x, and I'm just going to add to it. So maybe I add 1, maybe I add 2, right? I'll just take the red line, and every point I'll raise it up by some amount, and that would be a vertical translation. So if you the particular letters don't really matter that much. You'll tend to notice after you see enough of these that like H and K are usually used for these two. I guess that makes sense. H for horizontal and K for vertical. Um, Beyond that, we've just got normal kind of stuff. So if we're doing a vertical translation, we are doing this additional integer at the end. If we want to do a horizontal translation, then we need to change it down here. Okay, that looks the same as normal. If we do -2, that moves it 2 to the right. +2 moves us to the left. That I think that makes especially good sense here because if we think about that asymptote where we're looking for undefined things, if x minus 2 is on the denominator, that means that x cannot be 2 because that would make the denominator equal to 0. Right, so if I go to x equals on my green function, if I go over to x equals 2, you'll see that I have my asymptote. My function never gets to that point of x equaling 2 because it gives you an undefined value. Right? If we look at the original one, we just have 0 for our undefined value. And if I wanted to do +2 over here, well, that would move me back to the left because it would be -2 plus 2. That makes the denominator equal to 0. Right? So we have a horizontal shift by affecting the x directly. We have a vertical shift by either adding or subtracting afterwards. And if we want to, we can also multiply the whole thing, right? So if I wanted to like double it, take every value and double it, triple it, quadruple it, quintuple it. I wanted to make it negative, that would flip it. I could make it negative and twice as large or 3 times as large, 4 times as large, 5 times as large. So these are kind of our three options, right? We can move it up and down, we can move it left to right, we can flip it and stretch it. And those are our three different moves that will transform our basic reciprocal function of 1 over x. Right? We can move it left and right with a horizontal, we can move it up and down with a vertical, or we can stretch it or flip it depending on the value